Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play a Dwarf Fortress, believe it or not. One of the things about Dwarf Fortress is it's been around for a while, and a lot of people, a lot of fans that played the game have made a lot of third-party utilities for it, this being one of them. This one's called Vision, which basically renders your fort in a 3D sort of environment. And right here, you can see a Sunscorched in all of its 3D glory. We have our blue dome over here to the left where we'd built temples and mausoleums. Our trade depots there. There's our administrative offices, our first one, as well as our library. Tavern here. This is our workshop structure right here. We've got our barracks. We've got our apartment building. We've got our two palaces and our noble quarters. This is a temple area, and right here is a structure that we built that never really got anything done with it. But it's there. We have our pasture land here, as well as a space here that I never really built anything on. And yeah, no, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to get a little new perspective on your fortress. I'm going to go ahead and pull the settings. I had the draw range up. Let's see. We want the draw range side. Let's go ahead and take that down a little bit because it's a little bit taxing on the system. I don't think this particular program is very well optimized. As we zoom in here to our streets, we can see we've got our block stockpile over here. Not really that interesting. Let's adjust our camera here to get that structure back up. I'm not too familiar with the way everything, little intricate detail of this program works. I just know enough to get around a little bit. Take a look, peek over this wall here. You can see we've got all of our animals in here. We even have some that ended up on top of the wall. We've got our farming plots down here that are farming. We got a couple of our dwarves here. I don't know if we can figure out who this is, but he's got a metal helmet on, so I'm assuming it's probably one of our good soldiers. This over here should be the apartment complex. And yeah, you can't really see very well, but there's a bedroom right there. It's kind of hard to tell whenever you're rendering through the walls. But if we come on down here, we've got our daycare center right here. Let's just kind of peek in and look at all of our kids. We got the big drink stockpile as well as the table area where they're hanging out. Up here should be the bedroom where all of our children are playing. And let's see, that way goes to the new area over here. We've got our workshop building over to the left with all of our stockpiles. And up here to the right, this should be our tavern area. Let's just kind of go in here and have a peek and see what the dwarves are doing in here. We come in, we've got our entry area with all of our artifacts displayed nicely. We've got our stockpile over there of food, our stockpile of drinks in the back. And we've got a couple of dwarves in here just kind of hanging out and munching on some food. And then we've got our area over here where they're hanging out, having a good time. Up here, this is actually one of our guild halls. But we also have the, let's see, I guess the hospital and stuff would be, where would that be? That would be over here? Okay, yeah, so this is our old dormitory with all of our levers that control everything, and that would make this the hospital area right here. And it looks like we do have a couple of dwarves that are currently visiting the hospital, which is never a good sign. We'll make it out to the wall here. This is where we had our butcher area, as well as our tanning area. All of our offices are in here. And then we have our trade depot. We do have a dwarvish caravan in right now, and they're having some difficulties, to say the least. I don't think this is a problem with Vision. I think there's something going on with my Dwarf Fortress game. Something's got messed up here. This dwarven caravan has been here for a very long time. It is now winter, and they are still hanging out. And I was trying to figure out why, and I think this has given me a lot of insight into what's happening here. They have a little problem with their wagon. Over here on this side, to the blue dome. Let's see, we have our temples in here. This is, I forget which one it is. It's like the second or third one that we made. We've got all of our statues in here. And then over on this side, this is the one that was dedicated to death, where we started building all of our coffins. There's multiple statues, things like that as well. I like that structure. I think it looks nice. The ramps on the side, I don't know. I was planning on removing those, but I kind of like it. It gives it kind of a little bit of a accent, a little bit of a flair. I'm not hating it. Over to the right, this is going to be the guild hall area, another guild hall that we built. And over here, this little green thing is our very first palace that we made. For our Duke. They have since moved out, and this room really isn't being used for much. But, it's here. It's here. Over here, we've got our noble quarters. We can go ahead and peek in one of those and see what those accommodations are like. Pretty nice. I'm not thrilled with the coloring there in 3D, or 2D for that matter. But it's certainly working. Let's see, is that the workshop area? No, these are our barracks. So we should be able to peek in here. Yeah, there's our archery targets and where all of our soldiers are. And then over here, we've got our two palaces. The one on the left, the blue one, is for our Duke, and the one on the right is for our king. And I'm looking right here, and I'm seeing that little texture change. I think that's what that means, is that I accidentally made these wall segments right here out of microcline instead of microcline blocks. Oops. Would have never have noticed that if not for Armag Vision. But, oh well, it's a thing that is. We'll just take a peek in here to the throne room for our king. It looks kind of barren, but we do have some armor stands. We do have some weapon racks, as well as a throne, and a nice, big, giant, very, very, very noble throne room here. All right, well, that's the city in 3D. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. This utility, I generally do this during my playthroughs, just kind of go give it a little 3D tour of the base. I think with this one, it's a little bit more impressive than it usually is. You don't really get, the 3D doesn't do too much whenever you're burrowed under a mountain. All right, well, that's the fortress from the outside. Let's go ahead, we will roll the intro and see what we can do to kind of wrap things up. That wagon cracks me up. All right, back in the 2D world, it looks like our soldiers have returned. Let's take a look here. Mission report of Ray's tick puke. It's funny to me. In the early winter of 57, the roughness of crests attacked the indigo evils of the living lie at tick puke. All right, so as we go through this report, gives us kind of a summary of what happened. We can see in the yellow where goblins and dwarves are confronting each other, and in the blue where we have struck them down. And in some of the white text, it looks like we've injured some. And we've actually killed some of them. Excellent. In the winter of 57, the forces of the Hotbeard searched Tick Puke and found nothing. And in the early winter of 57, the forces of the Hotbeards rampaged through Tick Puke. So we were sent to raise it, but we didn't quite take it out. It's still there. It's still open, but it should be fairly weak right now. So if we were to send another squad, we should easily be able to take it out. Yeah, we've got our squads down here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out. I don't think they're really doing anything down here. Let's go ahead and, let's see, military alerts. Let's set the civilians to the tavern area, so they'll actually come out of the caves. They're not really doing anything down here other than just basically dragging dead bodies of troglodytes up into the stockpile. It's not really accomplishing much for us. Boy, there sure are a lot of them down here, though. I guess one thing about living up above ground, the dwarves just really want to go be in a cave. All right, well, we'll give them a little bit of time to get everybody up into the tavern, and then we can shut it down. All of our X's here should be the dwarves that have returned from the conquest, as they come back and try to adjust into normal life. Looks like a couple of them are kind of upset. Did you not have a very good time out there? You're in exile. Do we have a report about the exiles coming back? I don't see one. It only shows one of them being back. Okay, and it still shows them on mission, so... Oh, hopefully we'll hear from them here soon. Did that clean up the caverns? Just taking a look down here. Do we see any dwarves hanging around? I just saw one, like, archer making his way in. All right, I think that should be good. Let's go ahead and shut off this door. We'll go ahead and close it. If you're down there, I hope you like it down there because you're going to be staying for a while. All right, and then we can go to military and alerts and take them off and get back to life as usual. Kind of a big giant mess in there, huh? Looks like our children got moved into there too. We give them some time to go out and play. Let's check this burrow here real quick. It's been a while since I've done a check of it. Let's see, we want peasants. All right, we do have a peasant in there. Let's go ahead and free him. And then I go in and check for children. And just make sure all the children are assigned to that burrow, and they are. Not really a necessity so much. It's just, I don't like the kids taking up the bedrooms. I think we've been over this before. And we just added a crazy amount of kids. Some of you had mentioned limiting that, and I might actually do that. I've never really done that before, but I've never seen this many kids before. It seemed like every migration wave that came in was half children. And they just don't do anything but eat and take up space, take up bedrooms from actual contributing members of society. All right, there's our note right there. The exiles have returned. So that means that they failed, because if they didn't fail, they wouldn't have returned. Let's see if we can go to reports. We attacked the dwarf. The goblin fought with the dwarf. While defeated, the latter escaped unscathed. And Kib was imprisoned. And there are 23 trolls. I mean, it's not such a much, is it? What was that? Poison trample? All right, well, we're going to raid Poison Trample because you don't take my dwarves prisoners, even if they are exiles that we're trying to get rid of. Let's go for a pillage. We want to free captives. We want to release other prisoners. We do not want to loot items. We do not want to steal livestock. Okay, and I want to send, let's send A. Let's send archers. And let's send our recruits. We're going to go in full force. Sending a message. Sending a message that you don't mess with us. And let's see, we've got this one down here that we just hit. Tick puke. Let's send a raid down here. Let's set the details. Let's conquer and occupy. Since we were successful last time, we loosened it up. I think we might actually be able to do this one. And let's go to assign a squad. Let's send the exiles down there. Dwarven Caravan still hanging out. We are in early winter. We're in the 8th of Moonstone. So pretty much, I guess, 8 days past the winter border. We still have a Dwarven Caravan here. They're probably trying to figure out how to bring it back down. Can we, like, I don't know, maybe, like, remove the trade depot? And stop removal of it? Would that kick off a thing that made them... I mean, we could destroy the depot. That would probably kick them off, but what I'm concerned about is all just the garbage that would end up. Not only the wood and the feather tree yolks, but it's possible that there could be a lot of other garbage in there, and I don't want to deal with that. I haven't checked mandates in a while. Make animal traps, oh, we got so many of them. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7 mandates. The traction bench one, I believe we're working on, right? Yeah, it's just none of our metal stuff is being done. Animal traps that we have like 30 million of them right now. Let's go ahead and build one of those. What did you want? Quiver, flasks, bolts. Let's do wooden bolts. Do like 10 of those. We'll use those for practice. And what is it, a leather quiver? Was it just one of those? I hope so, because that's what we're making. Yeah. You want some amulets, that should get taken care of, and you want crossbows. Go ahead and give them up. prevent some of our craftsmen and administrators from going to prison for not doing the mandates, as tends to happen. We're getting beaten by a crossbow, I should say. Let's check out our squads here. Let's see. B was going. There's 1, 2 of you we're waiting on. Or A was going. I think B stayed behind. C, you guys are all gone. We're waiting on 2 of you. We're waiting on several of you. And waiting on 1 of you. All right. Exiles. We're waiting on a couple of you, too. Yeah, the above ground thing is something I kind of like. It's a little bit kind of a pain to build. I mean, when you're building underground, you just kind of empty out the space, and then you go in and can smooth the stone and engrave the stone, and then you've got a room. When you're building above ground, it's a little bit more complex because A, you're not building out an area. Look at that. The pits of tick puke. Nearly a day's travel to the south has been conquered, incorporated into my holdings. Way to go, exiles. Really appreciate that. Good job, guys. That's a win-win. We get a new holding for our land, and we get rid of a whole bunch of troublemakers. All right, and then we have the squad that's still around, but everybody that was in it is now, after a polite discussion with a local rival, Rava Nametur has claimed the position of administrator of the greatest trumpets. Okay, I'm pretty sure that is the government that we just established in that new area. Let's just see if that theory is correct. Tick puke. That's not tick puke. Tick puke's down here. Yep, the greatest trumpets. Excellent. Now, our other squad, how far are you? Still waiting for Id to get his stuff straight. You guys are all good to go. Got 1 waiting there, 1 waiting there. And you guys are good to go. So we got, what, 3? 3 people we're waiting on? Can we see them anywhere? I'm hoping to see them. Okay, there's 1. 1 right there going out. I wish they'd just make it to the edge of the map. Looking for any kind of military people that don't look like they're doing anything productive. Okay, you guys are all gone. You guys are all gone. Bimble? Are we waiting on Bimble again? It is. It's just Bimble. Oh, Bimble, where are you? Bimble, Bimble, Bimble. I'm pretty sure that was the one we were waiting on last time, too. Okay, there he is. Okay, you've made your way to the southern side of the map. Oh, Fath had a baby girl. Excellent. All right, so it looks like you're trying to exit off to the east. So you probably came all the way down here and then went all the way around. All right, well, that's okay. Bimble, it looks like you're hurt. What's your problem? Your lower spine and your left wrist and your neck. You're not in very good shape, are you, Bimble? Your ability to stand has been lost. Your lower spine. Oh, poor Bimble. I have a new respect for you. Here I am accusing you of being slow and lazy, but you can't stand. You're crawling. Sorry, Bimble. Oh, you're like an inspiration to us all. That just completely changed my opinion of poor Bimble there. All right, but he is now gone. Kid needs a statue and a retirement. He's an inspiration. The militia and others have returned. All right, let's take a look. Seize Tick Puke. That was the one we know won. Spoiler alert. Took over the Tick Puke. Fantastic. All right, and this one led the attack. Tactical planning was superior to the goblin, but the defenders had a slight positional advantage. We're taking out goblins, okay. Oh, we lost several dwarves. Early winter 57, the dwarf hatched a stunning strategy and attacker a strong positional advantage and clashed with 19 trolls, slaying 10. Clashed with 7 trolls, slaying them. In the early winter, the forces of Hotbeard searched poison trapped and found nothing. All right, so it looks like we won. We lost some dwarves, but it's not clear to me on if we actually rescued some prisoners. I'm assuming we probably didn't. Well, it doesn't show a prisoner being there anymore. All right, well, a win's a win. A win's a win's a win. All right, well, I think I'm going to wrap up this series here. I've had a really good time with it. It's fun building on ground, above ground, if not a little bit challenging and monotonous. I mean, I know a lot of the stuff was done off camera. It's just building roofs on things and laying out walls and building blocks. But, you know, it's kind of a fun challenge if it's something you haven't done before and you can stand the monotony. It's something I highly recommend. It's a lot of fun. Well, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next Dwarf Fortress series whenever it comes. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.